Welcome to Art School Dissections, a podcast made by artists for artists.
We take our pencils
and scalpels
to dissect art education, the industry, and the minds of local artists to help provide resources
and make this whole art thing a little easier.
I'm Maddie Gabhart.
I'm Peyton Hunt, and we are Art School Dissections.
Episode 4.
Hey guys!
Season 2. Hi.
Welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, welcome.
If it's not, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
Today we are gonna be having another interview. This person that I know very well, my future sister-in-law, Libby Dietrix. She is a multi-talented, multifaceted artist who we get to dive into her process and like what her perspective is on social media, on really being open to networking and some networking strategies and like all that fun stuff.
Very excited. I'm very excited because while I'm editing this will actually be the first time I get to hear it. I was not a part of this interview, but I am very excited to share it with everybody and hear all the good info.
Yeah, no, Libby has some really great insight, and we're excited to share with you guys a little bit of her world and what maybe you can take from it as well. That was an awkward sentence, but that's okay. I am a little awkward.
And that's okay. You
Thanks.
are human.
Thank you.
You're
My
welcome.
therapist tells me.
On that note, really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah. Welcome to Art School Dissections. We have another very exciting guest in the studio, future sister-in-law. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Libby, and I am an artist, and I'm so grateful that I get to be your sister officially soon, and that you're having me on your show.
I want to hear a little bit about what you do, what you like to do, what mediums you're exploring right now.
Well, right now I just did 2 abstract paintings. So the ones I had in shows on Saturday were really, they're on thrifted canvases, and they were acrylic paint with like random textural things thrown in, like one had flowers and then lots of colors. But recently I've been focusing on trying to communicate the feeling of the thing rather than draw the thing. And other than that, I like to do everything from make music to paint and play.
You do a little bit of everything. I'm always so impressed whenever I go on your social media. I'm like, oh my God, she's doing another thing. This is so cool. I love seeing it and following it and hearing about it.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it's fun to get to try different things and see what feels like a cool thing to keep exploring.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is a future project that you are excited about, or a current project you're excited about? Could be music, could be anything recent.
That's a good question. I have so much. I feel like we were just talking about like, there's so many things I want to do.
Talk about it all.
Right. Upcoming, I do have one music project I'm particularly excited for. I have had these songs finished since 2020.
Oh my goodness.
It's a whole album. And
amazing.
So it's just been sitting there, and I stumbled upon it like last year and talked to the producers, and they still wanted to release it, so we're going to move ahead.
That's amazing.
Just getting all the visuals together. Since it's been in the works, I feel like it really deserves a full delivery.
Oh, absolutely.
I accidentally released it last November, so some people heard it or parts of it. But apparently I just set the date wrong, so instead of going out when it was supposed to, it went out that day. Which also I've never heard of. Like, you're supposed to have at least a week. It won't even let you upload it that early. So it was It literally
Bizarre.
set it to November of the year before, as if it had been out, and it changed everything. It was crazy. Anyway, I took it down. We were like, let's try this again.
Right.
So now I'm like getting all the visuals together, gonna add a couple extra songs since people were ready, and then it got taken down. So anyway, that album is really exciting. And then in terms of like physical artwork in like painting spaces, I have a series of dreams that I've been painting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so those are fun, and they're basically exploring like what these dreams were, or lots of environmental themes, like environmental disaster and self-exploration.
whoa.
Yeah, so it's fun. Also, just a couple things going on.
You are a very, very busy lady.
Yeah, I guess I am trying to be less busy but still do so much. So it's like, how do you do that, right?
No, I would love to know.
Yeah, like the energy of busy, and like how can I be just
Yeah,
calm?
like to have, I heard something recently, it's like to challenge yourself and challenge your body to be as relaxed as possible while you are in work.
Yes.
So like actively releasing the tension I carry specifically in my shoulders whenever I'm drawing or whenever I'm making, just like, I just collapsed in my chair.
Yeah.
For people who cannot see, which is no one. So, but
Yeah, I feel you though. I feel like definitely getting in the flow where it doesn't feel like some race to get the thing done, and just enjoying getting to make things is
Right.
very refreshing.
right,
Yeah.
it definitely is. How do you? I guess since we are talking about having a lot going on, how do you manage your time? Do you have any tools that you use that helps you execute all these different things? Or?
Yes, I manage it very carefully. And I have 3 planners, and
Beautiful.
they get double checked, and one is like a big planner on my desk that is for the month, so every time I look, it's like everything is there. And then one is on my phone, and I was really resistant to add a phone calendar until this past year.
Okay.
And a different mentor for yoga teaching actually suggested it. She's great. But just having the alarms where you're already looking all the time is so helpful.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my journal that I'm reading from right now that is like my day-to-day, and then I have my month on my phone.
You
And
get it.
I
Yeah.
get it. No, it's just like I need to have it somewhere, or like I don't remember it and it doesn't get done if it's not
Right.
written down.
Right. So
For
yeah,
me.
just making sure you write everything down so you can see it. Like what gets written will get done. And if you have all these great ideas, if you're not making the time for them, you won't have it. So
Yes.
yeah, learning to do that, and learning like it is your own work and it is your own time. Like you have to make it. There's no art teacher anymore once a week saying, okay, here's your hour, you get this done.
I've started something that I'm going to be releasing here soon, but I'm dedicating 1 hour, or like blocking off 1 hour to one piece. And like that's the whole piece. So I'm having a specific set amount of time. That's all that piece gets.
I love that.
So these are like little pieces that are going to be available for sale soon. Self-love, but it it really has been helpful because when I get in the zone, I don't know if this is with you, but I could lose hours of my day into one thing, and then I don't get everything else done that I need to.
Yes.
Because I'm just like so in it, which is fun and amazing, but it's not practical for the lifestyle that I have.
Yeah. And even just the exercise of setting a time limit and like seeing what happens and letting go, I feel like is very powerful and good to just get your brain out of any sort of rut or like need to have it be a certain way.
Yeah.
I just did that with a song, and it was like
Really?
very impulsive, but also really fun and a good exercise for just a time frame and what can you make. And I was like, okay, I had an idea come to me. someone was picking me up in like 25 minutes, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this song, like literally record it, produce it, upload it, and release it. And I did that
in 25 minutes.
My dad was very kind and waited an extra 10 minutes for me. So it was 30-ish minutes, because I was like, oh no, it keeps telling me I didn't click something. And I was like, anyway, got it done in a half hour. And I keep second guessing, like, oh, like what if it's like really trash? But just the fact that I did it was so
impressive.
good to jog my creativity and just to do something.
Get something done.
Yeah.
Get something accomplished.
Right. It's very good exercise. I think for anyone listening, follow Maddie and make yourself an hour time to just see what you do in an hour and check it out.
Yeah, or follow Libby and half an hour.
The new song, it's called Drive You There. It does come out on the 27th. We support shameless self-plugs here.
Oh, no, I want to hear everything. I want you to plug everything that you're doing.
Thanks, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you. Yes, that's exciting.
It's very exciting. So can we listen on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places?
All the places. And it's a dance song, so it's on all the EDM DJ sites where you can get music too.
I love.
Yeah, it's fun. I did tell my parents, don't listen to this one. This is the one time I was like, you don't want to listen. Skip it. I love you. I'm so proud of myself that I did this. Thanks for supporting me.
It's not for you.
Don't listen.
No, that's like with some of the things that I write, like I do not want my family to read this.
Which is fair and valid.
Just like it's they don't need to know that part. There's some things that are just like,
I think that's
boundary.
fine. Yeah, I think that's totally fine. Like everyone has their own different relationships with family, and if you don't feel comfortable, I saw some movie producer had told his parents, don't go see this movie. It was a guy that just passed this past year. Anyway, at one point he wrote a note to his parents when he was a young adult, and it was his first big film, and he said, do not go see this one because it was so jarring. And it's like, of course you should be able to express yourself fully and creatively as an adult and be independent, and sometimes it's not the way that the people who raised you saw you. It's not something you want to share with them, and I think that's okay. And it takes a lot to get over that hump of like, oh, what are they gonna think? It's like, you just gotta stop caring. Tell them not to look if it's gonna make you feel better.
No, I think that's great advice, because I think I didn't make certain things for a long time because I didn't want my family to see me in a different way.
Yeah.
Or like my friends even.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not friends with them anymore, but like people I used to be friends with, and it's just like that kind of is telling. But it's like if it's true to you, you should make it. There's a reason why you're inspired. There's a reason why, at least in my opinion. So I think that's really good advice.
And like sometimes it gives the space to be pleasantly surprised when they are supportive versus like if you didn't set that boundary of like maybe you don't want to see this and then they see it, like then it might be more uncomfortable than if you already let them know and then you introduce them.
Yeah, I recently had a conversation with someone about assumptions. So they had told me something about themselves and I had made an assumption based on what they told me. And that kind of allowed for me to be closed off to them in that aspect. But I had a conversation with them and they're like, you could have just asked me. And that's actually, it would have been fine. And so just not assuming and letting people in and giving people the chance to appreciate your work, appreciate your process. Like, people do surprise you.
Yeah.
We are going to be optimistic today. Like, people do. So it is very nice to hear and experience that.
Yeah, like actually my brother is someone that surprised me very positively with my art because I thought, oh my God, it's my brother. Of course, he does not want to see me in any other light than like just his sister who is cool and chill, and that's her.
Yes.
But I like to explore all areas of myself and I like to share that. And he was like so supportive of my profession and my success, and it was something that like I had been scared of seeing how he would respond to the way other people see me now.
Yeah.
And he was not. He was like very proud of what I've accomplished for myself. So
Yeah, because like you've done a lot. Like listening, like all the projects you've done, seeing everything you've done so much, and I know he's proud of you. And so,
and I'm proud of him too. It goes both ways, but yeah,
Absolutely.
It's just an example, specific example of a time someone surprised me when I thought, oh my gosh, like he's gonna hate my music, and then he's like, oh, I mean, people do that, and they're super successful, and I was like, hey, thanks, man.
there we go.
Yeah.
We love Mike.
Yeah. We do love Mike. Anyway.
I think we've kind of brushed on this, but what does inspire you?
Everything. Yeah. Being alive inspires me. Death inspires me. All the in-between inspires me.
A little bit of everything.
Literally everything. I'm someone that thinks that the gutter on a rainy day with a bubblegum wrapper floating is beautiful. I'm like, look at this, like, so poetic and sad. And anyway, or like, yeah, just seeing people, like I definitely like to just sit on a bench and get a coffee and just appreciate people and like quietly bless them as they walk by. And
that's so sweet.
yeah, but I feel like that gives me a reason to keep making. And then it does, of course, it inspires me when I get to connect with people that have appreciated my work or it helped them in some way, and then making it helps me. So just remembering to make things because it helps me be more creative, that's inspiring.
Oh yeah, because
Long
like
answer.
one thing. No, I want the long answers. Or at least I have found like one creative act or one kind act inspires another.
Yeah.
And so like it's so cool to like hear you say that and observing the world. I think a lot of people get trapped in like their own heads, myself included. So
Same.
yeah, and so I think like taking a moment to notice the bubblegum wrapper is like such like a quiet moment of reflection and inspiration, and something I think we all need for how hustle and bustle and everything of life now.
Yes. I mean, I'm sure part of it comes from having a grandma that was like, oh, if you're bored, I'll give you something to do. And it was going to be chores. But like, I am never bored. So I do think that does create inspiration. And although it was something I despised as a child, it's something that I look back on now. I'm like, well, she really taught me to be creative with my time. And that's a huge gift, because I was not going to tell that lady I had nothing to do. I made literal castles out of stale marshmallows before I told her I couldn't find a toy.
I love it.
Yeah. So I mean, I do think recently I've been reflecting on how that really played a role in why I make so much. Like, because I couldn't sit still. But I mean, still, it does help, just like you said, get you out of your head, get you alive and present. Yeah.
I love the fact that you said you are never bored, because I
Never say never.
Never say no. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably will not. Probably.
I can't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Not gonna say
If
it.
I'm bored, I'll be very quiet about it.
Yeah, like it's the, if I won the lottery, there will be signs. If I'm bored, there will be signs. I'll have a mustache on my finger and talking to myself, but no one will know.
Because it'll just be normal, you know. It'll be fine.
Yeah, fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
But yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I'm not someone who gets easily bored. I don't want to say never either, but it's like I always love being occupied by something, by like something I'm working on, by social media more often than not these days, but trying to focus some of that energy into making rather than consuming.
Yeah.
Which is
Brilliant.
Nice.
Yeah, I think
trying.
that's a huge shift, because social media is not all bad. It's just you need to empower yourself to be the maker, and so you're not overcome with all the feelings around consumption and comparison and anything else.
I would actually love to hear more about your experience and relationship with social media, because you are very good at that.
Oh,
You're very good at social media. So I would like to.
it's been a journey. Yeah. I was someone that was really against it. Like, I guess kind of like the iPhone calendar. I've always been resistant, but once I embrace technology, I do tend to like really embrace it. And social media is one of those things. I feel like I was hesitant because I wanted to see, what it was and
Right.
whether it's like totally destroying your privacy, which at this point it kind of is.
Yeah.
But you, like we talked about, you can make it a tool, so it's more about what you're making, and once you embrace that it's a platform to share that and you let go of any desire for numbers or any desire for the validation, and it just becomes about, I'm going to share my stuff, I'm going to connect with people, I'm going to connect with spaces I want to be in, then it can be a flourishing community that you have at your fingertips versus something that's hindering you or making you doom scroll.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, I still am like, oh my God, I need a break. Like, oh my God, get me off the internet. But still, I think it's like, you just have to pace yourself and listen to yourself. And if you're in a season where you want to be sharing a lot, great. I also think you should feel empowered to take breaks and remove yourself if it doesn't feel healthy to you.
Yeah,
to each their own.
absolutely. And seeing it as a tool rather than like, oh, I have to be this amount of active on social media to be considered a successful artist.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's such like a mind warp for me personally.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if I don't have these numbers, then like, what am I making things for? And like letting that go is really liberating, but also kind of scary because like that, I think I've come to rely on some of that validation, but I think letting that go is something that I need to work on. And I think that's something I've heard other people are trying to work on. So it's very, very nice to hear that someone is actively being successful at letting go and trusting the process and using it as a tool to make and not just
Yeah, it's definitely a process. I think I'm still in the process of that reconfiguration in my own head of like, what is this? I mean, we have this really magical platform that 5 years ago I didn't have the same opportunities I have now. And they did come because of the community I connected with online. And so it's not like it's not real. No one can see me doing my air quotes. It is a real place where you can create opportunities for yourself. And it just, I think the letting go of the numbers, it gets to be like, it makes me think of the Black Mirror episode where they all had the rating because it's literally that at this point.
I mean, you're right.
Yeah, and once you can just look at it and be like, oh, whoa, we're just rating each other and basing things off of a check mark. Once you realize it's all BS, then you just let it go.
I love that.
But it's little by little. Yeah, we all are trying, and we'll all do it together. We got to get over the number ranking.
How did you build your community? Like, were you like, I know that's like a kind of open-ended question.
Sure.
But
just meeting people. I mean, I do think it's one of those, you make your own opportunities. Like, I go to things like your art shows and say hi to people, and then within minutes of meeting someone, I'll say, hey, do you want to connect, and get their Instagram or something. So I've made so many friends just going out to different art shows or, other things in life too.
Yeah,
anything.
so organically. I like that.
Yeah, I guess I did reflect on that the other day. I was like, it's a really nice gift to be able to go into a space and connect with someone so quickly. And I think having socials is a nice way to have boundaries too, so you can connect, exchange info, stay connected, but also like maintain, you're not just on top of someone right away.
Right. Like, here's my phone number, my home address, my zip code. Like,
exactly.
So like that, it is a nice buffer.
It is. It's like a distanced connection where you can get to know someone without immediately making it so personal, but it's still genuine.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's great. That's great advice.
So I did build it just by, I guess, in short, going to things, adding people, and then if I see people, tag people, add them, and if there are people doing things I want to be involved with, reach out. I cold message people like nobody's business. I cold message someone that now makes the advertisements for MAC Cosmetics
God.
like Low, the bag company. She did their new ad, and her name's Dana Boulos, and she's amazing. And I cold messaged her when I was in college, a cold email, and I ended up getting to be on one of her shoots in Los Angeles because we connected, and I was genuine. I was like, hey, I love your work, and I really do. It's not just, you know, blowing smoke. It's like, I really love this person's work. I love the way they work. I think she's amazing. I'm going to reach out and say, if there's ever an opportunity to work with you, please let me know. I'd love to support anything you're making. And so then
It's beautiful and genuine.
yeah, one specific example of how I made a connection from literally nothing, someone I just followed online, and then now I've met her twice in person. And
I love.
yeah, she's just lovely. So
Like, when I was in school, I heard one professor talk about cold emailing or like cold messaging or whatever, just like without any personal introduction or anything, but just being like, hello, I like your stuff. Let's work together. And that is such a skill. Like, that is actually how things get done and get made.
You just gotta believe.
You know, seriously, you gotta believe. You gotta be bold. You gotta be not sure of yourself, but confident in what you're capable of. And like, that speaks for itself. And it's just so fun to hear stories of people connecting and collaborating and like doing all of these things because they like what they do. Like, that's awesome.
yeah, I appreciate that. I think it's awesome too. And I think anyone can do that. Like, if you have somebody that you admire what they're making and you want to support it, like, you don't even have to ask to work with them. You just let them know you want to support their work in any way you can moving forward. And
Yeah, that's a
leave
great.
it.
No, that's a great piece of advice, because I think, at least from art school, I was told, like, this is the one professor I'm talking about. He's like, this is how you get a paid gig. This is how you do this thing. And like, we love a paid gig. We love to make money as an artist. But it's also like making those opportunities and supporting each other within the community. So it's like, not everything is going to be a badillion dollars. But badillion? Okay, I'm making up words now.
One day I aspire to make a badillion.
Off of one cold message.
Yes.
It's the new crypto.
She's on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
There's like offering to support. Like, that's like such a good. That's great.
I agree.
I'm gonna use that.
Yeah,
I'm
please
absolutely
do.
gonna
Anyone
use that.
listening, please do.
Yeah.
Please start cold emailing people that you believe in, because it makes their day, or they don't see it, or they're annoyed, and just move on with your life, and you'll still be better for the experience.
Yes, that's so key. You will be better for the experience because you did something new. You grew,
Build confidence.
and built your vernacular, your emailing skills,
Absolutely.
all those things. Love.
Yeah. And I guess another example, just a specific example of connecting with an artist and supporting artists. There's a gallery around here called Studio 18, super great place. It's owned by Taylor Brady. She's an amazing artist. And she hosts art night. I think I've sent to you, and one day we'll get to go together.
Yes.
But Tuesdays, 6 to 9, she had these open art nights. And okay, getting to this story, I went to a show. I had a piece in one of their shows. Taylor introduced me to another artist named Kat, and we hit it off. We're like walking around looking at the art, and she's like, oh, here's my painting. And I'm like, oh, hey, there's my painting. Our art was next to each other.
Aww.
And then I was like, okay, what I just said. I was like, oh, hey, let's connect. Let's be friends. Yes. Got her Instagram, except we were already following each other.
No way.
So we've been friends. We were just meant to meet. And now we go to the Tuesday art. I've gone to her markets. She wants to get a booth. But yeah, you just put yourself out there. You never know what will happen or who you'll meet, and you are worthy of being seen. Making myself tear up. But yeah, share your art. Share your art, because it's just better that it's out in the world.
We're in the break room.
Welcome. Hope you've been enjoying the episode so far.
Yeah, we ran out of Cheez-Its, so sorry. But
I took them all. Now we're going to dive into a little bit about our happenings and happenings in the community.
yes.
Super exciting. I will go first. when you hear this episode, I will actually be in Alaska. Whoop whoop.
Woo.
Going on a cruise for my mama's birthday. I'm very excited. So I will, you can't contact me. So I'll be back in a little bit. But I'm very excited for that. I am still also currently unemployed, but working on my art basically full time. It's a very fun little, hopefully not just like a side quest, but for right now, it is. I've been working on trying to make t-shirts work. It didn't. Trying to make tote bags work. It does. Yeah, trying a whole bunch of different avenues. Made a whole bunch of new stickers, which hopefully by this point will be up on my store. Oh yeah, also my store is online. If you want to go check it out, it's brokenjaw2ws.net. And
that's cute.
Thank you.
Do it.
All the pictures most pictures are taken by Maddie, so you should definitely go look just to see those. And I ship. So yeah, that's most of my happenings.
Phenomenal. What do I have going on? You don't know. I kind of know. I'm in the process of trying to shift some life things around, trying to move and do wedding things. But in the midst of that, I'm writing a good amount, which is great. And I yesterday actually did an engagement photo shoot, and that was so much fun to capture. And so if y'all are looking for any kind of photography service in that way, let me know.
Hit her up. She does good work, especially if you're an artist and you want some live shots of you doing stuff.
Yeah,
she did some for me, and oh my gosh, they make me feel so professional.
In studio headshots, those kind of things. Like, love capturing people in their natural environment and doing what they love. That has been super fun, and haven't been drawing very much, unfortunately, but I'm hoping to post some more of what I have been doing in the past, because I just forget to post a lot of stuff. I just have so many drafts that have not been...
Ain't that just the way?
It's almost that time to watch that again.
And that's weird.
Isn't it? It's July.
I don't like thinking that when we're sitting somewhere where it's super hot.
I know.
The fact that,
Yeah. But I'm going to turn 25 in a few days.
That's
stupid.
Crazy.
Stupid. It's stupid.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Exciting.
We're in July. We're here. It's hot. I hope it's not hot where y'all are.
I hope you have AC. Yeah. We got lots of AC in the break room and ice.
Yeah, it's crunchy.
Yeah.
With no condensation. I wish. Perfect world.
In the community, there's still Franklin Fridays, the second Friday of every month. So I think when this comes out, it will have been yesterday. Trying to think, I know there's a lot of stuff that is happening in September, because I just put it in my calendar, but for July, not so sure. But definitely check it out. I know a lot of galleries right now are opening up submissions for your own space on their wall or exhibitions. It's always happening in Columbus, so please go check it out. And I think that Roy G. Biv is also trying to do, or try to get donations, because they weren't able to get funding, I think, with all the stuff happening. So they're asking for some help. So if you have some extra change or you want to go give them a hand, I would definitely go check out. I saw it on their Instagram, and hopefully I am correct. I have not completely fact-checked it, but it's always good to support your local galleries because they provide those spaces for artists.
Yeah. I heard the phrase, like, if you want a village, you got to be a villager.
Ooh, I like that.
So it's like, if you want to be part of the community, show up for other people, and not just like for your own benefit, but like to support everyone else. I mean, like, I'm such a romantic, like, everyone supports everyone, but like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Also, the Greater Columbus Art Council, those grants are open right now until the end of July. So apply. The worst they can do is say not right now.
Yep.
So like, that's literally the worst thing that can happen.
Yes.
So,
and it's from someone that received a grant for the last round of submissions. It has been so helpful. I'm still working on it. I thought I was going to blow through it, but it's been helping support me through this time of unemployment. where I don't have to feel like I can't be spending the money to help grow my business. I have the money, and it feels really good. It's a nice little pick-me-up. So, yeah, like Maddie said, the worst they can do is say, try again later.
Yeah. Not right now.
It's very easy, too. It looks daunting. It's really easy.
Yeah, it just takes half an hour.
Yeah.
Y'all got it.
You can do it. We believe in you.
But now, on to some more advice outside of the break room.
Yes. Here, take some chips on your way out.
Some M&Ms.
What was your college experience like?
My college experience was fascinating. I switched majors a lot. I was always making art, but I actually didn't add an art minor until I think my third or fourth year. And then I did complete the art minor, but I was always taking art classes. I think you needed art credits, but also for my mental health.
Oh, yeah.
And I was always making art. But yeah, I studied everything from finance to materials engineering. I didn't ever start classes, but I got into the program.
There we go.
I took Chem and Calc. I passed them.
There we go.
At the Ohio State University. I'm very proud of that. And then I've never used them since. Finished in strategic communication, which is marketing / data analytics. Cool. So I'm Google data certified, whatever they do, and then the art. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a whirlwind.
Yeah, a little bit of a lot. I was in a similar boat my first year of college. I took art classes, but I wasn't an art major, and I needed it. I needed that outlet, and that's what led me to go to art school, because it was so helpful for me. Well, what kind of classes did you, what kind of art classes did you take at Ohio State?
I took a lot of painting, and then I also took a lot of art history. For my history credits, I just did art everything. I really enjoyed the art lectures. I took a history of East Asian art, and that was one of the coolest. I really loved getting to learn about all the terracotta soldiers, and I just thought ancient art is so fascinating. I also really liked the contemporary art lecture, because I just felt like it was really inspirational as to making art that is purposeful or inspired by what's happening globally and making change through art. Everyone she pulled to talk about was of course, artists are activists, but they were very intentionally activists, and I thought,
love that.
Yeah, it was such a great call to action.
So, do you think your college experience informed your current art?
Definitely.
Inspired?
And especially the part about painting the feeling of the thing versus painting the thing, that came from one professor, because I feel as someone that grew up with a bunch of art lessons, I can draw pretty realistically. Yeah. But it just felt like a push into the next level to explore what does the feeling of that thing look like. Yeah. So it definitely informed me. I also had a lot of art teachers that were really against making art for sale.
Really?
Yeah, and I think that's maybe a difference of having a painting class versus going to art school. And it's one thing I actually think is nice about art school is the resources and the lessons on how to be in business as an artist.
Absolutely.
So I think that was maybe just good to consider, why am I making this art? Is the purpose to sell it, or is the purpose about what I'm feeling? And yeah, it's to consider. It's for everyone to make their own choice about. And it did change the way I make art. I'm not hoping that things sell, but it also did shift. I mean, my goal is not to go in a gallery and have someone buy my painting. My goal is to paint something I feel and have people look at it and feel something.
Yeah, and that intention, going in with that intention is so important. Because like you said, art school was pretty oriented around this is how you make a living off of what you make. And I had a few professors and a few teachers who were a little more, I don't want to say loose, but you need to do this for yourself and not for the viewer.
Yeah.
Because once you do it for yourself, the viewer will find you.
Yeah.
That's kind of, so I really enjoyed hearing both of those perspectives, but I definitely got the latter experience at art school as opposed to my first year of college at a liberal arts college.
Yeah,
So
and
it's just different.
It is different, and I do think it's like there's a balance. I don't think it's like you have to choose one or the other.
No, yeah.
But I appreciate your perspective and you validating, like, yeah, you did get more of the business in art school. And that's something, I guess, for people listening that are considering whether to go to art school or not. I think it's very helpful to have those if you want to be an artist in business. My degree happened to be about marketing, so it did lend itself nicely to transition to that.
Yeah.
But it's not the same as knowing how to upload the appropriate file type and save things on your hard drive and transfer them. All the technical things about being a professional working artist, if you do it independently, is possible, but they're things I've had to ask you for help with, or ask my brother, or ask the internet, like, please help me, dear Lord. So,
Dear Google.
Yeah. And anyway, it's like you still can do it, but I do think if you have the opportunity to go to an art school and have those resources and support, it's probably, I imagine, pretty helpful.
Yeah, it was pretty helpful. I know I've talked about in previous episodes that I wish we had done a little bit more, actually, in preparing for like the after school experience while in school. I think honestly, the professors did the best that they could, and what best they knew how. But it was definitely more than what I'm hearing what your experience was. So I mean, like, well, how does the marketing help you as an artist, and like, are there any strategies you could recommend to people? That's a twofold question.
Yeah, I would say the marketing helps me in a lot of ways, because if I treat myself as a brand that I were representing, and I take myself sort of out of it, which of course isn't totally possible, but just pretend, okay, I'm looking at myself as this artist that I'm helping build a brand, then I'm able to, okay, I'm going to make this launch plan for this project. I'm going to have this strategy for how to spread my art. I mean, I think it gave me a basic knowledge of how to share about myself. It just, like we just covered, it didn't cover the technical aspect of what different clients might be looking for if I was working in that setting. Versus I'm making things to make them and sharing them because I can, and I'm able to advertise for galleries and share about the shows I'm going to. But yeah, and then wait, the second part of the question.
I think I said if there's any strategies you would recommend to people.
Yeah, specific strategy. Well, one is you have to put your work out there.
You are so right. You are so,
Step one, you have to share it. If you want to be sharing it, step one is you need to do that.
Yeah.
In any way that you can, and the rest will follow as you continue to grow and experiment. I was really lucky. One of my babysitters growing up was an artist, and he was the one that made Things Organized Neatly, if you know that book. And he did all these advertising campaigns where things are laid out like by rainbow organization and they're stacked really neatly. And he has a whole book called Things Organized Neatly.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. And he came to my graduation party when I was leaving high school. And my parents encouraged me, since he's a working artist, to ask him any tips he had. I did have to like hype myself up to go ask him. I was like, haven't seen this man since he was my babysitter. And anyway, I asked him, and I will always remember that he was so sweet. And he's like, oh, well, you just got to put yourself out there. You just got to share it. And so that's what he did. It worked for him, and it's worked for me so far. And so I recommend sharing is the first strategy.
Yeah.
A second, more specific strategy would be the cold emailing. I think like definitely following the working artists or spaces that you want to be involved in and reaching out to connect is a great way to keep going and get yourself out there.
Yeah, that is super helpful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I think I've shot myself in the foot a few times by not sharing my things because I'm like, I don't know if this is me. I don't know if this is the right time or the right moment. But I think the overthinking has been a detriment to me. So I think just doing it sounds so simple, but it is, you just gotta, you just have to. So I'm gonna take that advice and put it in my pocket as well.
Yeah, and it's, I think, easy to be like, oh, is this good enough? Or like the thinking about what other people think. I did adopt something this year that really helped me. I've put out way more projects than I have, like both in writing and painting and music. This year I've really shared, and part of that was I've been holding some stuff back, thinking, I don't know about this one, I don't know about XYZ.
Yeah.
And I heard an author say the only way she could put things out was she finally had to look at it as if nobody was ever going to read what she wrote.
Oh.
And then it was the one that became famous. Like I actually think it's Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love, which, funny enough, I've never read Eat, Pray, Love, but I've read her other books about how she made it, because I'm like, who's this author?
Yeah.
And so her point was she told her boyfriend of the time, she's like, no one's going to read what I write. Like, it's going to be fine. And that's Eat, Pray, Love is the famous book that was about him. So it's like, yeah, you never know which one is going to be the one that really resonates with more people. And it's not even about that. It's just about the fact that she shared. So yeah, you got to hype yourself up, pretend no one's ever going to see it, and that you love it no matter what.
Yeah. It's like, for me, it's like a place of vulnerability that has to exist for me to be able to share some of that stuff, because some of the projects I'm like, but having the mindset of no one's going to see this is so helpful. I think as someone who was a people pleaser for a long time myself, I think that is a little bit difficult for me to do. But for the things that I have let go on and just let people see, like, people have received it well, or if they haven't, I move on and just count it as an experiment. So it's never as bad as what my mind thought it was going to be, So I forget where I was going with that statement. But
that's okay. I got, like you said, it's like, it's hard to let yourself share when you're worried about what people will think. And so if you just strip that back, then you're like, okay, whatever happens, there you go, send it off into the night. And I do think too, like, it can feel like two different ways, right? Like, you can be like, nobody cares, like no one's ever gonna care. Or you can look at it like, nobody cares, yay, thank you, nobody cares, I can make whatever I want. Yes.
Yeah.
As long as you're not hurting others or yourself.
There
do whatever you want.
We
Put the one preface in there. Always exceptions. But yes, do whatever you want, because nobody cares. It's so freeing. It's so freeing. And then when you meet the people like we've connected, or our friend Kat that we talked about, that I've connected with her, it's like, oh, the ones who do care, then it's really special, and you can support each other, and it's so nice when you finally find the people that it resonates with, but you weren't even looking.
Yeah. We've had such a lovely conversation.
I'm on caffeine.
Me too, girl. Has your art changed since going from being in school to being out of school? Or just even in the past few years? Are you constantly evolving? Or
Yes, I would say definitely I am someone that is constantly evolving. I'm always wanting to experiment with new things. But it's also changed in a lot of ways. In one way, while it's constantly evolving, I have learned the value of making multiples of something that you're feeling interested in.
Okay.
So I used to be like, I can't paint the same thing twice. Why would I do that? But the same teacher that was pressing me to paint the feeling rather than the object is the same one that inspired me to try it again. Like, just see what happens when you keep making the thing that you're interested in.
Yeah.
And I felt like that's very painterly of him. Like, I really loved that. And I do think there's something special about just really romanticizing and embracing the artsiness of it all, and like having your moment and being in the zone and making a bunch of one thing you're fascinated by. But I do know, actually it was during his class where I shifted from, I started in art in college doing oil paintings and realistic sketches and being 100% focused on, like, I valued my art as being good by how realistic I made it. And I can make things pretty realistic. Yeah. But what I loved about George's painting class was that it just opened a whole new world of like, oh, it's not good because it's free. I mean, it's just a different painting.
Just different.
And I even started thinking about, like, where are these oil paints coming from? Who is being forced to mine these pigments? Like, I really got in depth about where all the art supplies were coming from. And that changed. That's why my paintings are now on thrifted canvases or different materials I find.
Yeah.
And I was making all this art out of trash. Like, he inspired me too. He was like, what if you use the trash in a way that doesn't, like, visually look like what it is either? Because I was wanting people to see what I was doing. So I was like, here's this cardboard and plastic filled with paint. Here's this string. And then now it's like, I can make a painting that looks like the other paintings I was making, but out of all these found materials and their new textures. And yeah, it's been really fun to play with, like, what can you make out of what's already here? So it's changed a lot. And I do think now that I'm out of school and I don't have these assignments, the art is coming from, what am I saying to people? What's happening around me that I'm trying to bring attention to or change?
Yes. Yeah, I'm like having that informed mindset about, like, where you're sourcing your materials, like that's amazing. And doing all that research for a piece. And I love the found materials. I love, like, using things that are already there. That's great.
And it forces you to be more creative.
Right. Like, having, like, some parameters around, or not even parameters, but not just a blank canvas, it's a thrifted one. So like, what can you do with the existing texture? Like, what can you do with all these layers of colors? Like, that's so fun.
It is fun.
It's fun and a challenge, and like a environmentally conscious, socially conscious, artist activist way, which I am in full support of. I love that.
Yeah, that was definitely something that I had to break through for anyone listening that's like feeling insecure about changing their style. I did get a lot of commentary in art school about, like, everything had my touch, but I hadn't really found my style. And I was like so self-conscious about that.
Yes.
But then I let go of it because I was like, well, I think my style is just, I really like to be inspired by what I'm feeling. And that's the value of making a bunch of things that you're fascinated by. And then you have chunks of different pieces of your style. Like, not everyone has one thing. So don't hold yourself back by that idea.
That is something that I saw in a lot of my classmates and myself, was being limited by just us, like, trying to be perceived in a specific style. So like, oh, I can't draw an elephant because I only draw flowers, or something like that. And like, that is like really limiting. Like, yes, it's great to have your work be recognized by you because like it has your touch, but everything's gonna have your touch if you make it. So being allowed to explore is such a beautiful thing. And
I do think it's helpful when you get to see like pieces of work from other famous artists that are less known, and finding out that even Picasso was doing sculptures, and like they might not be his famous piece, but they're still Picasso's. They're part of his process. So let yourself play. I'm learning too.
Because like, it is a lot about the play. Like, we've talked a lot about art as work, but like,
for me, it needs to be play too. Because like that's where I find my fulfillment. That's where I find my inspiration and where I feel like myself. So I don't want work to be my whole identity. I am pretty playful, and hardworking, and both can exist in all of your art.
Yeah, I guess, and going off of that, since we're sharing this with people that are looking into art school or art businesses, when your art is your career, I think with the play and versus work, and it's so important to give yourself time to do both, because you don't want to lose your sanity or feel like you're not ever getting to enjoy what you love anymore.
Yeah, because like I've talked to a lot of career artists, and they've found that they don't have hobbies anymore because their play has become their work, and so they don't play anymore. And that's not something that I wish for anyone, because it is important to let yourself learn and experiment and like educate, like not just with art school or any form of art education, but just like life education. Right. And like that's such a fun thing to do through the lens of art and activism, and just like learning more about the world and about what's actually going on, and like drawing attention to it. So
definitely, I think that's part of why I do so many different mediums, is not just because I'm so random and have all these ideas and yay. It's like it's also intentional, because I think you can get burnt out or too tied up in one thing that you're ultra focused on and feel like you don't have hobbies or feel stuck. And I think having multiple creative outlets does give you room to bounce around and come back with a fresh perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was doing ClassPass for a while. I do miss it.
I love that.
Yeah, but I was doing like these dance classes for a little while, and that was because with my full-time job, I didn't have a lot of time for drawing. I was just like my creative outlet, because photography is my full-time job. I love that, but it was like I still had an itch to do something else, but I didn't have the inspiration for a pencil. So like going to those dance classes and exploring that medium and letting my body do what it needed to was so good, and I miss that.
Yeah, it is so nice to get out of your head. I think dance is really great for being present, and especially for people that are extra creative and have a lot of ideas in their mind. I think doing something with your body, whether it's meditating and sitting still and just noticing your body, or going and dancing, or just going on a walk, or just going and getting fresh air, however you get outside, like just making sure you're connecting with your body too is really important. Like, absolutely, your ideas are beautiful, and so is your body, and they go together.
Yeah, it is a package deal, and like being able to take care of your body so that you are able to create in the way that is true for you is like, just like it is important to take care of this little flesh that we have.
So well said. Yeah, it's true. I think it goes with everything. Like, you have to balance your care for self with your career. I do not romanticize the idea of the starving artist. Like, I think, we got to take care of ourselves and each other. No one needs to be going off the deep end with your mental health for your art. Like, yes, break my heart for my art, like put it in there, but also like don't do it to yourself over and over.
Yes, yeah, don't do it to yourself over and over.
Yeah.
Take
care of you.
Yeah, I think the trope of I have to suffer for my art to be good is not true.
She's outdated.
She is outdated.
She is quite antiquated, and we don't agree with her anymore. Although we love her and send her peace.
She needs her peace.
Yeah, send her lots of that. I appreciate that we can be in a community. I mean, it is a blessing too. Columbus is such an art hub, so there's a lot of positive support for art, which does help with the impression of what is an artist. It's like, well, here an artist is someone that can live a very vibrant life in community and share. So that's really great. And I do think if you're someone looking to get out of your shell or wanting to be in an art community, like part of it is putting yourself there. So look for places where you feel supported.
And Columbus is a great environment for that. There's so many studios and galleries and like coffee shops. There's art. There's art
like
everywhere.
Third Way Cafe, where we're drinking our coffee from. I did my capstone there. Speaking of marketing, so that's a way. Very full circle. I felt so blessed. I got to work on the capstone project for their marketing campaign when they opened.
That's beautiful.
And now they're a thriving coffee shop with a venue, and they sell art, and they have a library and murals, and then they want to support my art. So it's like, wow, full circle.
Wow. Because it's like art people help each other.
It's true.
And putting yourself out there and talking to other people, creativity should not exist in a vacuum. Like, I know for the introverts out there, I know it's hard. I know it's awkward as hell, but it is worth it. And like going to Third Way Coffee or like going to these places where there is art, there are people who appreciate it, it fills you up, fills your cup, helps you out.
Yes, I love that. Yeah. It's true. And you have to celebrate yourself. Make sure you're celebrating your own accomplishments, because at the end of the day, that's where your feeling of joy for your art will come from.
Absolutely. I think that's a great place to wrap up. We are going to celebrate ourselves today.
Yes, cheers,
today
Maddie.
and every day. Cheers.
Thanks for having me on Art School Dissections.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. This has been a joy, and here's to the next one.
Cheers to the next one.
Thanks for operating with us.
This has been Art School Dissections. My name is Peyton Hunt.
I'm Maddie Gabhart.
Take care of your guts.
Make something cool.
Or bad.
Bye.